everybody, I'm Victoria Baylor. You might recognize me from the Tailor and the Dressmaker show. I'm with one of Mr. Jim's illustrious students, Miss Lynn Woodard. We have her here today with us, and she's one of his newer students. She's taken his men's tailored coat course or tailored jacket course. And I know a lot of you were interested in Mr. Jim's courses, and you had a lot of questions. You want to know what you could learn. Well, who better to tell you than Miss Lynn here to kind of give you some insight on what it's like to take one of Mr. Jim's courses and what you can kind of get from it. So, Miss Lynn, so nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, I've been watching Miss Lynn around the studio just so away. How has it been so far?
I have loved it. It's been so wonderful. But I am climbing a ladder with what I knew how to sew, and I am a home ec teacher. I learned 30 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And the way Mr. Jim sews, which is a great deal more practical.
Oh, yes. And I like that you said that, and that's one thing. So we're having this, let me back up a little bit. The reason we're having this interview is Mr. Jim will be unveiling some more of his new courses and workshops, and I know a lot of people are interested in it, so we're having an interview with one of his students, so you kind of get a better picture of that. But I love the fact, going back to what you said, practicality.
Yes.
I love the fact that she mentioned that. That is one component of Mr. Jim's classes. A lot of the techniques you haven't seen anywhere else, right?
I've never seen them before.
It's kind of funny, and they're really practical. It's kind of hilarious. It's like, I didn't know to do that. It's kind of a light bulb moment, huh?
I've taken pictures every step of the way with this class so that until he gets his DVD out or his Gumroad, I can do what I can do at home. But even after taking this class, I will be the first person that gets the class because I will forget some of the things I have learned. It's a very, very exciting but very detailed class.
Really detailed. If you don't know, of course I mentioned before that Miss Lynn has taken Mr. Jim's men's tailored jacket course. And what most people don't know, if you've never sewn a tailored men's jacket, there's so much structure, so much just hardware in there. Well, it's kind of software, but like canvases and a lot of pad stitching. There's so much in there that's just can be intimidating, can't it?
Right. And one of the things that was a very big surprise to me is there is stuff you can't just buy at your local dress shop or clothing shop. They don't carry men's things. You have to order your supplies before you start your project with men's clothing. And Mr. Jim has those things, and he says, these are supplies I want you to have when you come to my class. Take him very, very seriously, because if you start the project, you can't just run out and I'll go get some thread or lining. The lining, the type of the interfacing he uses is so much better quality.
It really is. It's a great woven quality.
And it's iron-on, it's fusible. The shortcuts he uses in canvassing, eye-opening.
Well, so now that you mentioned canvassing, let's take a look at what you have in your lap here. This is a little bit of the work you've been doing. So this is, what are we looking at here? The front of the jacket?
This is the outside of the jacket. Eventually, my husband will be able to wear this. Let me show you the pride and joy, which is the inside of the jacket. That's the facing.
Oh, very nice. Lovely.
I'm going to be practicing my besom pockets.
Now tell us a little about that. You said those would kind of give you a little bit of run for Lynn's money there.
Yes, I have struggled. These are the pockets that go in every men's suit. And they're very, very specific. I have some work to do for my quality. Mr. Jim, on the outside, was very specific about making sure the flap was correct. And this on the inside, I'm going to give myself a break so that I can finish the suit.
That's right.
But this right here is the it's a bound buttonhole.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same principle. It's very difficult to do this right.
Mm-hmm.
I need to practice to get it right because this is the first suit, but it's not the last suit that I'm going to be making.
Very nice.
And I'm going to be making a few suits for my husband ground up and probably alter for non-relatives because this is something I do as a labor of love, or I will be doing, if I do ground up, it will be done correctly.
So it sounds like this is an investment, which is, if you take any course, especially with Mr. Jim, this is an investment for what you come to know or learn about in the future. So that's really good. You plan to use the information later on.
Yes, I'm thinking alterations for
Very
myself.
lucrative.
Very, very much. And I will probably always keep a hand in building a suit from the ground up, but those will be people I care about. I'm not going to go to London for the Savile Row clientele.
Oh.
I think I can stay very, very happy with the alterations at this point, but I will always try to build up my husband a suit probably at least once or twice a year, and I have two sons, and I will try to build them up a suit once or twice a year. And so that will keep me busy, and it'll also help keep me into what I want to do as an alterationist, because if you know what it's supposed to look like,
That's right.
you know that you can make it look good even if the quality is not what it's supposed to be.
That's true.
Mr. Jim, when you work with him, you learn how to do it correctly. And this is what I call the chicken feet stitch, and it's the pad stitch, and you do
Wonderful
this by
pad stitching.
hand.
Mm-hmm.
And it means that your lapel is sharp.
Yes, it is.
And you can do this with women.
Mm-hmm.
Women do not necessarily wear a whole lot of structured clothing right now. Fashionably, that was the 1980s. We're not doing that as much right now.
Okay.
But we could go back to it. And certainly my clothing will look sharper with this instruction.
So that was my next question for you. How has this course impacted your sewing?
It has impacted my sewing. It's light changing.
Mm-hmm.
Light changing. When I sew, I care about it because I have an instructor that's cared about making me do it right.
Mm-hmm.
And that means there's no...
He's going to make sure it's done right now.
Yes,
That's one thing.
in his class, you do it correctly.
Very professionally, absolutely.
And I thought, he's a gentleman, and that's very, 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 very good, but he's firm.
Yes.
And he doesn't want me to be ashamed of my work.
That's right.
Especially for my husband, I don't want him to be ashamed if
That's
he goes
right.
into court with
That's
this
right.
suit.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So it's always, that's definitely the good, the good trademarks of a good teacher, for sure. That's Mr. Jim. Okay, so we talked about what's been tough with you. We noticed those doggone beads and pockets, but she's going to tackle
I'm going to
those.
win those.
So how is he, well, you alluded to how he's been as a mentor, but personally, do you feel like this is really, you, I think, studied with other people in the past, but is he kind of one of your favorites? Not trying to egg you on, but just try to get a good sense of, so people understand what is true mentorship to you? Because I know a lot of people have different definitions. What is that, and how much of that do you feel like you're getting?
I feel like I am getting absolutely a very warm, friendly man who I think will sew something for himself all the time. But I feel like this next year he's going to be giving everything and putting it out, and I have purchased every DVD that he has, and anything on Gumroad, because first of all I cannot find it, but as a mentor, as a friend, he is a gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
And the kindness just comes through.
It does.
And I think as a student, I need a little bit of that. He's my teacher. I have to behave, and a little bit of, I put more pressure on myself.
Mm-hmm.
He just sits there and says, okay, this is what you need to do. He's not mean to me. I'm tough on myself because I want him to be proud of me.
Oh, that's so sweet. And that just shows that you guys definitely have a great rapport. And I think that is the main indication of what a good mentor is. And I'm so delighted that you're getting that. And I feel like I've gotten the same thing from Mr. Jim. Very grateful. So hopefully this is giving you guys a little bit of kind of an idea of what it's like to be a student in Mr. Jim's course.
Come down if you can.
That's right. And then one last thing is, it's just as big, but we are in the heart of Savannah, Georgia. How has it been in this city, and how have the accommodations and everything been?
They're beautiful. This is I'm here in December, and I think this is a beautiful time of year.
It's been 70 degrees here.
70
it's crazy.
Degrees. It's rained once, but I came down for the pants, to do his pants in August. That's a dicey one. That was a bit tough. That was a bit overwhelming. But December through March, come down. The accommodations are beautiful. I feel very safe in this part of town. Also, I've walked from my hotel to class every day to get the exercise. It's been so beautiful.
It is really nice. Yeah, we're right in the heart of everything. There's like grocery store. So literally this can be a sewing vacation for you. So if they want to get away, this would be the ideal place to go. But anyway, we have chit-chatted and talked your ears off. It's been a pleasure to be here with Miss Lynn.
Thank
Such
you
a
for
talent.
having me.
You're so welcome. And of course, stay tuned for future episodes. But to answer you guys' question about what it's like to have a course or attend a class with Mr. Jim, I hope this video did just that. We will see you next time. Take care. Victoria Baylor signing off, and Miss Lynn. Bye.
Bye-bye.